Maybe start a couple minutes early here. We usually try to start at 10:15 our time, Hawaii time, but start at 10:14. So while we're waiting for people to sign on, welcome to the daily live show. It's 8/16/2018, and it is Thursday. We're rolling into Friday in the weekend finally. So let's talk about the disclaimer while we give people a chance to sign on. First of all, past performance is no indicator of future performance. This show is for entertainment purposes only. We are not registered investment advisors. Nothing on this show is an offer to buy or sell any security, option, or anything like that. We do sell a subscription service. That's the only thing that we're offering. Okay. So, hey, whoa, we got some guys on quick today. Wow. Roland and Jesse, you guys are quick. So, and like always, while we're waiting for people to sign on, we'll give them about another minute. You know, it's important to read the disclaimer. I know we say it every day before the show, and it's easy to blah, 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 right? But really, the disclaimer, man, that indemnifies the website or the service of everything. So you want to know how you're protected as a consumer, as opposed to how they're protecting themselves as a business. And it's all in that disclaimer. Another important thing about a disclaimer is on these stock marketing emails that you get so often, a lot of times you'll see, oh, this is an advertisement. It's not ours, but this is our partner. And, you know, it's about a marijuana stock or something that's going to go up 8,000% in the next 2 hours if you don't sign up. What happens is if you read the disclaimer on the bottom, it always has disclosure. And what the disclosure will tell you is, well, were these guys paid in stock? Were these guys paid in cash? Were these guys paid? Are they like you and I? Are they actual traders with a vested interest in it? Or are they getting paid to pump this out and trick you into buying some shares? Right? You'd like to know that information, right? Well, it's all in the disclaimer. So, oh, we got quite a few people going. And Jeff's here, so I'm going to start the show. So, you know, today was a big rally day, right? Nice bounce back from yesterday. You know, that Dow was up over 400 points, the S&P another 22, and the NASDAQ ended up with 32. We had a huge start to the day, and then right after that first hour, we had one more push up into the market into lunch. And then it kind of just trickled down, which makes sense. You know, there's a lot of relief selling. There's a lot of people taking some profits. You know, those people that believe that this is a temporary rally are setting up shorts. You know, tomorrow's option expiration day, just a soft expiration. It's only stock options tomorrow. But, you know, so it's only, I believe, single witching. But, you know, it really was a good day today. It was a nice, strong day. And it all started off because Team Trump, man, he looks like he's got the Chinese coming for some negotiations. Look, we don't want to say we told you so, but we told you so. Okay, we've been talking about it for a couple weeks now. We felt like the Trump team would have these guys at the table by Labor Day. Well, it's a nice little gift, right? We're still a few weeks from Labor Day, a couple weeks from Labor Day, and we got the trade talk. You know, Jeff's here, and Jeff's a big steel guy, and we're big steel people too. We love U.S. Steel. We like AKS. We're vested in those, as you guys know, and this is only going to help, man. Jeff, we've been talking about it for a couple of days about steel, right? This is it. You know, if Trump can come in and get these tariffs right and this trade right, look, for the last 2-3 weeks, and we've been mentioning this too, is, you know, if you watch the Chinese and Asian markets, they've just been coming apart. They're just coming unglued. And it's because they're so concerned about this trade. The Turkey thing, it kind of added a little accentuation to what was going on, but really everything was about that trade. And you could see it in those Asian markets. Well, let's see how the Asian markets go tonight, right? I think they open in about an hour or so. I forget exactly when they open, but you know, let's see how this reverberates. Look, you know, ideally, we want all boats to float, right? Whether it's China, whether it's Europe, whether it's the United States, because a good, strong global economy is good for all of us. You know what I mean? And right now we're kind of a little out of sync. The U.S. economy is kind of blowing up. The Chinese economy, on the other hand, has had this great growth over the past few years, but it's kind of slowing down right now. And it might be something to do with this trade and these tariffs. And so some money's coming out of their market. That puts pressure on the politicians because the wealthy people are the ones with the real pull, right? Just like in America. And they start pressuring these political leaders. You know, they want political support. They need money to win elections. They need this and that. It's different in China, but it's the same kind of pressure. If this all resolves, and it resolves quickly, guess what? And you're right, Marco. Right now, we are floating the world right now. But, you know, like him or hate him, one thing about Trump is he knows how this works. And he knows if we can get everybody else to come up, man, just think of the explosion we're going to have on a global level. And as you guys know, we've got a little play in Vietnam, VNM, with our bigger clients. We've had that play going on for a while. We like Vietnam. There's going to be some money to be made in these emerging markets. The Turkey thing will kind of wash off. Like we said, there's some debt involved, and it'll probably affect financials a little bit. But you know, if U.S. banks are experiencing this major growth with the United States economy, if China starts coming into the picture with blowout growth, remember at one point they had 7-8% growth going on. That's why when they have 4% growth, even though for the U.S. that's a major number, for them it's a disappointing number, right? So, you know, if all this works out, it's just going to be explosive, and there's going to be money to be made in emerging markets. Of course, you're going to want to be picky as usual, and you're going to find the right Asian market. Right now, we like Vietnam, VNM, for our bigger clients. It's not one of our service plays right now because we focus on options and stuff, but we'll keep an eye on it because when it starts to look like it's going to make a big move, we'll want to tap that too with some options. But we really were happy to see that news today. You know, it's not just about being able to come onto a live show and say, hey, we were right. That's not what it's all about. It's all about all of us making some money. This show should be helpful to you, you know, give you some insight, give you some tips that hopefully put you on the right side of the trade. We offer you a service if you need that kind of help. But, you know, we want to make money. And so this is really positive news for us. We're just happy that Trump's got the Chinese coming to the table, and hopefully they all come with the same enthusiasm and stuff. Yeah. So let's kind of move on the show here. I'll get to all the comments in just a second. It's just the ones that are relevant to what I'm talking about. I'll post those first. But welcome to all of you. So it was a big rally day, and the trade talk was what it was about. Now, hey, the Tesla saga, you know, just kind of getting into market news. By the way, you know, we've been talking about the last couple of days with the retail sales. Retail sales are very important. You know, it's easy to fall into this GDP trap because you hear it so much in the media, you hear it so much on CNBC, that GDP, we need that 3%, maybe we'll get 4%, blah, blah, blah. But really, retail sales in the United States economy are a great indicator. Yesterday, we had Macy's hit, right? That's what kicked off this rally and this turnaround from the sell down yesterday. Well, guess what? Nordstrom just hit. So that's two retailers in a row, two big retailers in a row. We had Home Depot, Home Depot, not Macy's, Home Depot and Nordstrom, right? You've got one of the biggest home building and stuff, you know, the home renovations and stuff business, which is Home Depot. And you've got Nordstrom's, right, which is upscale clothes and all that stuff, and they're doing great. So people are spending money. That's what makes an economy go. It's a great sign. But let's talk about Tesla, because Tesla had a new saga start today. You know, we've been talking about it. There's charges somewhere down the line coming from the SEC about that tweet. And just that whole thing of telegraphing, taking the company private and stuff like that, and talking about having financing ready to go and stuff. And you notice too on that, he was implying that the financing was coming from the Saudis. Immediately after that, the Saudis said, no. They don't want to be associated with that. The Saudis, especially the princes and stuff, are balls deep in the market, in the U.S. market. Last thing they want is the SEC looking at their books. So they backed off, right? And it just told you a lot about what's going on. Well, guess what happened in the Tesla saga today? So an ex-security employee came out, and he's alleging theft, drug dealing, and spying at Gigafactory. So I'm going to post the link to this article in the comments. If you guys get a chance to go check it out. This Tesla, somebody was asking me about this. And my opinion on it is, look, you've got a CEO like Elon Musk, okay? Guy's got no business in a CEO position, okay? First of all, he's a little too childish and immature. Second of all, he doesn't seem to understand how the market and the rules of the market work. And third of all, he's got short attention span, this big disorder with that. Are we doing SpaceX or are we building cars? You know what I mean? Nobody can tell. So you've got this head of the company, and we know that we're not running this like a tight ship, which is what is critical with the CEO of a publicly traded company. That CEO and that CFO are absolutely supposed to keep their butts out of hot water at all times. And Elon Musk is just running ragged. Is there a short in there? We're not short on it, but you know what I mean? We just don't see much promise in that. Whether it goes private or not is another situation. And if Elon's smart, he will go private because he needs to get off of this regulations and stuff. I wet my whistle here a little bit. What we are short and what we've been talking about the last couple of days, right? We gave out that free Netflix pick. So as a group, as the viewers and all that, we can kind of follow it together. Netflix was up a couple bucks today. Let me just check real quick on Netflix. Get a quote here. Yeah, Netflix. Wow. Oh, geez. It was up a couple bucks earlier in the day, but it ended up down $3. So that trade's still looking good, right? I mean, we're coming down. We're getting towards that 280 strike. After hours, Netflix is down $4. Not sure what's going on with it. See if there's any news. I don't see any news, but yeah, Netflix is down about $4 after hours. So something's going on with that. But look, we're going to stay strong on this short, okay? Whether you're playing along with it or not, remember, it's for entertainment purposes only. This is not an offer to buy any security or option. This is just we're having fun playing it together, just like watching a football game. You like the Rams, we like the Cowboys, blah, blah, blah. So, that short's still looking good. And, on those puts all the way out to November, so that gives everything kind of time to gel and stuff. We still think Netflix is just screwed up their programming so bad and their direction so bad that there's just not a recovery in that. We'll get bounces and things like that, but we're not going to get a whole lot of bullish movement. So that is not Stock Pick Profits official play either, too. So let me just kind of scan through the comments here. It was really an interesting day today, bro. It was a lot of fun. The Manafort trial has gone to deliberation, so we'll see what comes back on that. The trial was fairly quick, right? It was only 2 or 3 weeks. The defense didn't even present a case, probably because they're confident that the prosecution didn't prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Manafort is guilty. We'll see how that turns out, right? It's all in the jury's hands now. Let's go through these comments here real quick. So good afternoon. Yeah, hey, welcome, Jeff. Yeah, really not a whole lot of comments today, but you guys get a chance to go read that Gigafactory article about Elon and stuff. It's kind of an interesting article. And like we said, look, all joking aside, running a publicly traded company the size of Tesla is no joking business. And it's not, there's no room for childishness. There's no room for lack of seriousness and focus. Elon doesn't bring any of that to the table. So be careful with that. And yeah, Marco, I just wanted to kind of go over this one more time before we cut the show. You're right, Marco. Right now, the U.S. is kind of floating all boats. It's pulling up a lot of economy. It's not pulling them up. It's preventing them from going into the total crash. This whole Turkey thing, they let this play out. You see, the media kind of grasped onto it. And then we had some good news come into the market today. You see a lot about Turkey, right? Well, the last 2 days they've been telling us this is the biggest, worst situation in the financial markets ever. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden we're not talking about it. Why? Because we're talking about trade. So really, was it that important in the first place? We told you guys, yeah, it is important because it is a market event. It's a currency event. But it's more of a problem for the Forex traders than us stock traders and options traders. You know what I mean? That lira just got hammered. If you are a Forex trader, maybe there's a bottom bounce in there or something. But look, let's kind of close it with this. Let me put that up for everybody. So look, if you're not having fun, if you're not making some money, if you need some help, there's the link. But, you know, let's kind of close it with this. You know, we got this trade news this morning, which is really good. We didn't get a whole lot of turkey in the news cycle, so that didn't bring much of a damper. We had a nice first half of the day. We kind of had a soft trickle down going into the close for the second half of the day after lunch. Didn't seem to be much of a problem. We still closed on those nice levels as compared to previous days. And, you know, you always want to have the higher highs and the higher lows. Today, you'd like to see today's high always close above yesterday's high, and so on and so on. And sometimes you get this, like we've got with the NASDAQ, the 5 or 6 days before yesterday, you know, we had higher high closes consistently. Then we had yesterday kind of throw a monkey wrench into it, but today came right back, and it looks like it's resuming that trend. So do we have another shot at that all-time high? You bet we do. We were just watching a chief strategist from Raymond James. He was on CNBC before we came on the show, and he was talking about that. And he thinks next week the S&P 500 will take its next shot at the all-time high. And he made a lot of sense. You know, you think about it. In the last couple of weeks, we've had one shot at the all-time high. We failed. We had another shot at the all-time high. We failed. We had this good rinse yesterday. Usually on a 3 shots, the third shot's a charm at all-time high. And he's right about that. This is a guy that's been trading the market for a long time successfully. So he listen when these guys talk. Even myself, you know what I mean? So let's see if it plays true, because we think, look, I'm going to say it right now. I think that NASDAQ takes a shot at that high tomorrow. It seems like we're getting some good momentum in it. Whether that plays out true or not, it looks like it. And I think you'll see something very, very definitive from the S&P 500. So let's see how that plays out. We're still bullish on the market. Look, we're still long on gold. We're still long on steel. Jeff, you know us. We're long on steel. We've still got some AKS options at a $5 strike. They don't expire for about a month and a half. It's kind of been floating at that mid to lower $4 range. We still carry a large position in U.S. steel that we bought at about $19, $20 a few months back. We're very bullish on the market, and we're short the dollar. And you could see the dollar today too. It's had this nice run, and everybody keeps looking at us like, you know, why are you short? Why are you short? Well, we're going to hold that position because we're out on those options. And when this trade comes through, that dollar is going to just get torn apart. It's going to be dramatic. And that's when we'll cash in. So look, you guys have a great afternoon. It's Thursday afternoon. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's options expiration day for stocks. So we'll see how that kind of plays out. It always kind of throws a little funkiness into the market. Should be a fun day. Other than that, we'll keep an eye on what's going on with the Trump trade. As we said, Manafort is in deliberations. We'll see how that comes back. And I'm absolutely sure we'll have more to talk about with Tesla. Anyways, gang, you have a great afternoon. It's a wonderful Thursday. We'll see you guys tomorrow after the market. Thank God it's the weekends. Right back at you, Jeff.